Testing 1, 2, 3. Hey everyone, hope you guys are all having a fantastic day here today. Oh boy, there's a lot of stuff to talk about here. But first of all, let's focus in on Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now is down about 4,000 bucks. We're hovering just above 97,000. But I think over the last half an hour, we managed to break down below it. There's a few big pieces of news that we're going to be talking about today that's kind of causing this. Most of it revolves around interest rates, CPI data, that type of stuff. Some news coming out of China with Nvidia and maybe an anti-monopoly type of thing going on there. So you're seeing a little bit of headwinds. The rest of the market is down. The only thing that seems to be up is the dollar index and oil. Everything else seems to be going down at this point in time. Again, making people worry just a little bit more. Altcoins are coming down a lot more, a lot harder than Bitcoin, of course, but we have to figure out here today whether or not Bitcoin's going into a consolidation phase where we stay above 90,900, or if we have to go down to something of a larger move, maybe down to like 85,000, 86,000 before ultimately making a big surge. Typically when we talk about these types of things, we go back in time to 2020, 2021, right? 2018, 2017. And it's a little bit more difficult to try to judge those things because so far, because of all the institutional backings that we've had, every time you see Bitcoin go down very quickly, we saw this actually happen a few days ago. Remember when we hit that resistance level, 104,000 basically? When we see those prices drop down very fast, it's not really retail that's there to catch up all the cheap Bitcoin. It's usually some type of institution that's been waiting to buy up Bitcoin for a minute. This could be in one of the ETFs, this could be a hedge fund, but typically so far, we've been seeing institutions really loading up on Bitcoin, which has made it very interesting for us because, again, we've all been making money off of this last wave. We've all started to scale out, right? As I told you guys before, I sold 7% of all my Bitcoin for my swing trade here, or what would you want to call it? The cycle trade. I sold off 7% at 81,000. Or 80,000, excuse me, 3% at 91,000, and then another 5% over here, no, 10%, excuse me, at 100,000. So I got 102,000, but still, things are moving still very well. But at this point, we may be seeing Bitcoin go into a consolidation phase here, and I think that's what we're really looking for. Can Bitcoin get a jolt? What's that jolt going to be? When might that jolt happen? For us, it might be Wednesday when the CPI data comes out. But before that, we'll hop into all the data and stuff. So Loki, I'm going to give Loki a treat here very fast before we get started. He's been kind of busy. I'm actually kind of relaxed and laying down, which is why my head is kind of all low. If I actually lean forward, my head takes up the whole freaking screen. But here's Loki. Whoa. There you go. Yep. So he's having a really good day too. So, hey Tim, happy to see you, my man. Hey Razvan, excuse me. Nodi, Puma, happy to see you. Thanks for being a member as always, Puma. And hey, Kashif, hope I pronounced the name right. Happy to see all of you guys in here. So what I want to do first is actually move this all the way over here so I can read your messages on my teleprompter here. And then I wanted to dive over into what's going on with Bitcoin because it's pretty interesting. So I know we've been talking about this for a while. I know I've been talking about scaling out. Hey, I'm happy to see you, man. We've been talking about this for a while. However, we're still dollar cost averaging. We're still doing stuff like that. And that's still basically what I'm up to right now. And hey, Ethereum is trash. Happy to see you. And hey, Epping, happy to see you as well. Let's focus on a couple things here. MACD on the weekly chart still remains good, right? MACD still remains good. Stochastic is showing some weakness, but so far okay. And RSI is showing some weakness right now. 2 out of 3 are still good. Not really enough, again, for us to do a really crazy day trade or a swing trade. The daily chart is where we're having a lot of issues right now. If you guys recall, I like to see everything kind of align, the daily, the weekly, all that stuff. And then I tell you guys, hey, I'm starting to go long from here. Well, we haven't had a bullish MACD since November 25th, which has been a little bit of time here. It's been how long has it been? Shit, about 14 days, 2 weeks. So we're still dealing with that. And my thought process here is if Bitcoin doesn't manage to have a huge breakout pretty soon and go volatile again, which it can, of course, what we're going to see is probably Bitcoin breaking back down below some of these support levels below 87,000 bucks. I'm hoping we're just going to have something of a weak spot like here, manage to bounce back up. Hopefully that's the case here. But the longer we take, the more likely we are going to see, like right now, Bitcoin to break down below the 20-day moving average. Typically when Bitcoin breaks down it, sometimes nothing happens, but typically we're kind of down here for a little bit, kind of just chilling. And I use these as opportunities for dollar cost averaging, but you see this usually, we'll have to see if this is the case again, because you know everything's a little bit different. We have a big drop, a little bit of a drop here, drop there. So I really am curious to see what's about to happen. Today, a number of my tokens got hit by stop losses, which is not the best. I will have to add some more in there, of course, because you know we've been scaling out, but we've still been dollar cost averaging tokens that haven't been moving up as much. So I'm looking at Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin's down about 4.5%, but Ethereum is down 6%. Doge is down 10% or 9%. WIF is down 11%. Miro is down 15%. Baby Doge happens to be up 40% today, which is absolutely wild. So yeah, some of this stuff going on right now. But again, if you're going to ask me when I'm going to get more bullish for Bitcoin, when I'm going to get more excited about Bitcoin, it's going to be the same thing I tell you guys every time. We're going to wait and see for the weekly chart to get back to having a bullish stochastic, RSI, and MACD. When all of that is good, we're fine. As far as I'm concerned right now, I know the stochastic right here is actually like about to cross over, but until it crosses over and we have a confirmation on the weekly chart, all of these things still remain bullish. It's the daily chart that's giving us a little bit more of that choppiness, right? And that's one of the reasons why when we had this breakout a few days ago, I was like, I'm not going to take the trade because my MACD wasn't in the right spot, my stochastic wasn't in the right spot, and my RSI wasn't in the right spot. I have to feel confident about those things before I take these trades. Now, day trading or maybe doing a little bit of a scalp, yeah, you can do that because you're looking at the 4-hour chart possibly, plus the 1-hour chart plus 15 minutes. But if you're trying to do the swing trades right now, it has definitely not been the best, right? Definitely not been the best. Here's Bitcoin on the 15-minute chart. You can kind of see it's still breaking down here. It tried for a minute to hold above 97,000 bucks, just not able to do it. So what I'm going to do now is go over here to this viewpoint. And if you guys are looking for a new exchange, I always got those sponsors down below. But there we go. You can see right now, last 24 hours, let it kind of adjust and update here very fast. Leo's up 1.5%. Floki's up 1.39%. Bunch of stable coins right here. On the other side, Popcat's down 16%. I'm so happy I sold out a few days ago. Virtual is up 15%. Kaya's down 15. Apecoin's down 14. So you're seeing a lot of stuff down. Even things like artificial superintelligence, all down. Now, again, this is where the majority of you guys are not really panicking because we've been dollar cost averaging a lot of this stuff for a while. So if you guys did move up a stop loss and you've been doing this with me for what, like a month, 2 months, 3 months, you'll notice that, you know, even though they're having a really rough day right now, well, Popcat's an exception, but Virtual's protocol, that's still up 327% for the month. Kaya's up 122% for the month. Apecoin's still up 50% for the month. Gala's up 128% for the month. Tia's up 37%. Fetch is up 25%. So overall, if you guys have been dollar cost averaging, things are good. It's only those people that maybe have been buying just recently that are going to feel a lot of that pain, right? That's what they're going to feel right here. We're finally going to get over the finally going to get the pullback to the, what are you saying? I can't read it. 82 to 88,000 range. Have my bags ready to accumulate once we get there. Yeah, I mean, at this point in time, I'm just going to continue dollar cost averaging. I do have extra cash just in case we do have something of a larger dip, but we have been looking for something, at least some type of pullback, right? Everything's so different. Like the cool thing about this cycle right now is that like institutions are going to be so weird. So maybe we don't even get to 85,000 because of the way institutions are playing around with things. I'm really curious because, of course, the bull market's not over, right? The rally so far is just kind of hitting a consolidation phase. But can you imagine if we can't have a big flush because the hedge funds are there to buy us up, institutions are there to buy us up, right? And hey, Steve, Coinbase finally added Bonk and Pepe. Oh, that is some good news right there. We've been needing that for a while though. It's only because Gary Gensler's on the way out. Everybody feels so emboldened to do what they've already wanted to do for so long. It takes a minute for them to want to do that. Dog with hats. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff down right now. But again, look at all those past 30 days. Everything is up tremendously. And this is where I say dollar cost averaging still has an amazing benefit. So if you guys are considering, buying in, dollar cost averaging still seems to be the best thing for a lot of people. If you guys try to buy low, sell high, I know we do that quite a bit here, but we haven't had a good excuse. That's why it's been so boring. But again, we've been scaling out, I guess. That's been the fun part, taking some profits. So before we hop back over to Bitcoin, we can see it's still getting pushed down here. It's definitely not a pretty sight. But we do have some news coming out this week. It is going to be important. So I just want to let you guys know what days those are. If you guys ever want to find this out, just go to marketwatch.com/economic politics. Economy politics calendar. Oh, I didn't know it was a political calendar as well, but you get the point. Basically, Wednesday we have CPI data coming out. What are the expectations? Forecast 0.3%. That's not bad. CPI year over year 2.7%. That's still not terrible. So if we get that, I think we should be okay. Really, this comes into play, and if you guys watched one of my videos earlier, this comes into play because I keep on seeing rumbles on online news or through social media. The Fed is thinking about pausing cuts. And if we were to see cuts being paused, I think the entire stock market and cryptocurrency market would throw a massive fit. And we'd see things come down quite a bit. And I don't know if it'd be like bull run ending type of moves, but it could definitely spook the system and cause some really sharp moves to the downside. So I am hoping that CPI will remain strong. And then I'm just hoping that when the CPI does remain good for us, I'm hoping that we can see the Fed stay strong and continue to do rate cut after rate cut after rate cut. They don't have to do 50 basis points every time, but 25, 25, 25, that's more than enough for us right now, right? Everything else as far as Monday, wholesale inventories, nothing crazy here. Median forecast 2, actual 2, we're fine. Tomorrow we have NFIB optimism index. That should be pretty interesting here. U.S. productivity revision, stuff like that, good to go. And then Thursday, jobless claims, PPI, and Friday, import price index. Not the craziest thing, but it's interesting. All right, so that's there. As far as the rest of the news here today, you can see the Dow Jones, S&P, and NASDAQ all down, plus the Russell 2000 being down as well. This was the story that I saw earlier. I was like, what the heck is going on here? Can I open it? There we go. So it says Nvidia shares fall after China opens investigation over possible violation of anti-monopoly law. I don't think this is something that's massive or it's going to have huge waves, but if this does start to target Nvidia, you will see, I think, the rest of the market slide down because Nvidia is basically propping up the entire market right now. And then one last thing here. This could always be part of the trade war that's about to get kicked off here between China and America. When Trump gets into office, there's going to be some huge battles going on. If you guys recall, the big battle of the 2016, or Trump's last term as president, was the Huawei battle. If you guys remember, I think we arrested one of the Huawei executives, the CEO up in Canada. So it was definitely, we can be mischievous too, right? But that's the one thing over there that might be spooking the stock market right now, okay? And hey, Villa, happy to see my man Crypto Ricky. Do I think Ethereum makes all-time highs soon? The way Bitcoin's going, it may take a little bit of time for us to consolidate. So if you look at Ethereum here very fast. Let me put it all in perspective right here. Right now, you can see a few different Fibonacci levels, but we're clearly getting some resistance right now at the, 3,830 level. I can't read it because it's like the same style as that. Yeah, around $3,821. If we're not able to break above this by the end of the month, there's a good chance we'll probably get pushed back down here towards $3,200. But monthly still remains bullish. The weekly still remains bullish. The daily is still bullish here. It's just now turning bearish. It still looks fine to me right now. I might be more concerned if we see another downward day tomorrow, though, because that would confirm that Bitcoin broke down below its own 20-day moving average. And I think Ethereum would do the same thing, which would probably push Ethereum all the way back down here below $3,500. Because Ethereum, yeah, see, Ethereum's not allergic or something to having a massive drop. In fact, Ethereum can be pretty darn dramatic when it wants to be. But we're still bullish as far as the daily charts. If I go back over here, pull up Ethereum daily chart. There you go, right? Daily chart still remains bullish. 12-hour chart, still good. 4-hour chart's where you're going to see a little bit of a bearishness right there. 3-hour still showing that bearishness. 2-hour, of course, right there, right? So I think we're okay, but we are showing some signs of like, we may need to relax a little bit here. Which is basically why, if you guys recall back on Thursday, I was telling you guys I was moving up my stop losses here, and that's just because I wanted to be protected, because I got busy over the weekend. I couldn't even do any trading. But let's put this back over here. There you go. It still can, but it's going to need some type of jolt to pick Bitcoin back up. Right now, we're starting to turn from bullish to bearish on some of the shorter term time frames, which basically means in the scheme of things, we're just entering a new consolidation period, which again, may be kind of boring, to be frank. Pepe been making some moves. What is Pepe actually doing right now? It's down a little bit today, so it's okay. It's still volatile. I think that's fine. Because I had the breakout a while ago. Breakout structure right there. Don't know what those lines are from, but yeah, we should be fine there. Okay, drawings. I'd say for Pepe, it's not terrible right now, but you could definitely imagine a pullback back down over here before making another rally back up. Not really doing much today, though. Just kind of going back and forth. But I mean, I'm seeing a lot of stuff go back and forth, because I'm looking at Sushi's down 16%, Luna's down 15%, Link is down 11%, Leo's up 3%, which is interesting. KDA's down 14. I'm looking at down 14, down 20, you know, down a lot of stuff here right now. And again, if you were to go to any of these tokens, this is a 4-hour chart, you know, if you bought anywhere over here or anywhere down here, you're fine. You're not really panicking right now. Again, the people that are really stressed out are the people that bought somewhere over here over the last week when we were talking about FOMO and how FOMO was not good. But you can see a lot of assets right now, a lot of cryptocurrencies, they're all heading for those 20-day moving averages. So I'm hoping that Bitcoin and the rest of them can find a way to bounce. We have about 3.5 hours before the candle closes. And right now, all we're trying to do is bounce off of that 20-day moving average. So if we're to pull up another moving average here, I know there's a way to clone it, right? No, you can't clone it anymore? Okay, well, that's fine. Well, let's just move this to daily chart very fast. There you go. You can see how we've been trying to stay above it, stay above it, stay above it. Right now, in the process of falling down below it. If we fall down below this, then we have to start worrying about the 50, and the 50 is like all the way down here around the 80s. So again, kind of matching what Ethereum is trash was saying. So again, just keep your eye out. I'm not overly concerned, but I think for those of you guys that didn't buy, like again, didn't go through the whole dollar cost averaging process, it's just going to be a little bit more tumultuous, because you're going to see your assets kind of in the negative territory instead of maybe losing profit, right? Which is a little bit different from a mindset perspective. Let's see, push this back up here very fast. And then I gotta make sure I don't forget something. Watcher Guru says 122 million or billion was just liquidated from the cryptocurrency market in the last 60 minutes. Let me see if I can find this here very fast. Let's see. It's 2 o'clock. Okay. That's fine right there. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on right now. Let me get out of the Nvidia shares stuff. I want to pull on over here Twitter, because you know there's going to be some people talking about this. I think the majority of the news here today was actually about that Luigi. Oh, this is the guy that killed the CEO. Taylor Lorenz. Oh shit! Scared the crap out of me. Taylor Lorenz has disabled replies on a post after being called out for being friends with Luigi Marjone. What does she know? Like a true Italian. Interesting. Okay. Well, we'll come back to this a little bit later. Daniel Petty, that was some big news. McDonald's, that was part of the assassin. Business and finance patriot. Oh, Dan. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on today, but most of it's around that CEO murderer. I ain't gonna say anything about it because of what do you call? You know, I don't want YouTube to come after me or do anything like that. There you go. Me in 2013, instead of buying Bitcoin is digital gold. Bitcoin rockets in value after Trump victory. This must be old. Maybe this is new. Well, we can listen to another time here. Maybe tonight when I do my later late night stream. I'm not going to the cigar lounge tonight. I'm thinking I'm taking a break from cigars because I've been beat. But I think I'll have a late night stream with you guys here tonight, just kind of chill and watch what's happening with the market, especially because there may be a way to play this bounce here for lucky tonight. Me watching Bitcoin hit 100,000 for the 58th time in the last 4 days. Let's see. Leaving my 9 to 5 job when Bitcoin hits 200K. I'd be happy that I'd be very happy with that. But again, I feel like whenever I see a meme like this and like people are leaving and having a good life, like how much Bitcoin do they really own? That's the question there. How much Bitcoin do they really own? There we go. Is my chart zoomed in? It feels funny. No, it's not, huh? Interesting. It's very volatile right now. That seems to be it. Yeah, I made 3 Pepe trades over the last 24 hours, made some decent profits. Pepe will flip sheep this year. That'd be good. I mean, I like most tokens right now. Anything in the meme category, you guys know I'm already been buying it. But I just been kind of accumulating a bunch of stuff. I mean, there are some things where I tried to leverage trade them and they didn't work out, right? Like a turbo or a pop cap. But those losses didn't really affect the overall, like, you know, I still made a good amount of money, but despite those losses, which is why you diversify. Right now, I'm just DCA. And hey, Ken, how bearish are we looking? Right now, Bitcoin probably wants to head back down to that last support we were talking about. So you can see right now, current support is going to not be an actual monetary number. It's going to be the 20-day moving average. We've been hovering around this for a while, even when we had that massive like flash crash event and we dropped all the way down here to 90,900. We saw Bitcoin by the end of the day surge right back above it, and we kept on grinding on. So that first level of support is going to be the 20-day moving average. Afterwards, though, we go all the way back down here to 90,900. That's most likely where Bitcoin is going to want to go if we close below this 20-day moving average. After that, we'll figure out what happens next, but by then, as the 20-day moving average, the 50-day moving average continues to creep up, this is where you see something of a larger drop. I think that larger drop only comes in certain type of economic situation, and by that, like we were talking about earlier, and I made some videos about this. What is the Fed going to do as it relates to cutting rates and or pausing rates? Like, let me see if I can find a story here for you guys. Pull this over here while you guys are watching the Bitcoin price, maybe on the 5-minute chart, because Bitcoin trying to again pop above that 20-day moving average. Just type in Fed pause cuts. It's going to be a paywall on Bloomberg, but I'm okay with that. basically you can see the story here. Fed's can't pronounce his name, Musalam, says time to pause rate cuts may be near, right? This is the St. Louis Fed chief. All my alarms are going off right now, sorry. But yeah, so that's kind of the headwind that we're facing right now. Are we actually gonna cut rates? And you can see, oh, here's one on Reddit, like a little conversation about it. Right, the Fed's independence will be under attack next year, so expect them to stay the course on cautious cuts based on inflation at a cut to near zero or something in between. You're welcome. That's a bunch of nothing. Yeah, but basically, talking about housability, affordability. Okay, they're not actually talking about why it may happen. That's fine. But they make a good point about Trump and Jerome Powell going to be going at it. They're really going to be going at it next next year. But they really should be lowering rates. Remember, the inflation rate is not high right now. They should really be cutting rates more drastically than they are, because we want to see people buying houses. We want to see that happening right now. And then on top of that, you know, possibly just I wish there was a way for people to build houses just a little bit easier and not just, you know, leave it up to corporations. I feel like a lot more people should build their own houses these days. Jesus. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong thing. Look. Let's see. DeFi is back. People just aren't talking about it. Yeah, I could see that right now. I'm making 693% staking at Crow on VVS right now. It's crazy. Reminds me of the past. Just remember to sell and take your profits before everybody else does. I'll say it. Corrupt world is corrupt and people are done. Oh, corporate. Yeah. Corporate world's corrupt. Yeah. I mean, it's true. But I don't know. So, okay, you're touching on something that I felt since I was a kid, right? The world is corrupt. You know, the system isn't working for me. So basically, I just found a way to get that system to work for me, right? Now, funny enough, it's in crypto. But before that, you know, I was a marketing manager, marketing director. I worked my way up through the corporations. And I did all that by being sneaky, you know, backstabbing, all the stuff you're supposed to be. And, you know, it paid off. The only thing I didn't do is I didn't do anything corrupt, I would say, because I was too afraid of the law. You know, a black guy. I gotta be a little bit more careful of that. What about AMP? It really hasn't popped yet. I mean, I've been dollar cost averaging it, and it has made some moves. It just hasn't made that big pop like you've seen a lot of other tokens, but it has made a move, I would say. And hey, Richard, happy to see you, my man. My whole life in crypto has been since 2017 or 18. I put my entire military retirement in crypto every month. I hope my neighbors start thinking I'm selling dope. I never had so much money. Oh man, you're gonna be like that guy from what's the name? It's not Breaking Bad. There you go. That guy from Breaking Bad who showed up with the Hummer with all the flames and yelling. Oh man, that was wild. Doge on sale again? In my opinion, yeah. I mean, I'm just dollar cost averaging because everything's dropping down 10-20% today. So I felt the need to buy something, and so I pretty much just bought a bunch of stuff, even some of the lower market cap stuff going on. Flipping burgers and getting that crude and natural gas return, taking $1 to $3 a week. Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, so far gas has been interesting. I'm waiting to see exactly how the Syrian war calms down, like what happens after that, because, okay, the news is being very weird about this. They're like, yay, the rebels have kicked out Assad. Yay, the rebels. Yay, the rebels. But the rebels are terrorists, right? And then at the same time, the way it's playing out is like, what happens next? Is there a new government? What happens with all this stuff? I'm like, every time terrorists take over a country, It's not like a traditional government. And then I saw Biden on TV says, we're going to give humanitarian aid to Syria. And I'm like, no, the fuck you aren't. Trump is coming into office and he's going to say, fuck all that shit. It's going to be it is so interesting to watch the narratives play out right now because, again, anything that we do in the Middle East is always so messy. It's so freaking messy, and it's only going to get more messy over the next year or so. I think even Israel has started taking territory from freaking from Syria. So there's a whole bunch of craziness going on over there. Hopefully Trump can come in there with a freaking bludgeoning bat or whatever you call it, and just smack some heads. But I don't know, guys. It's just fucking a shit show over there right now. Hopefully they get it figured out. Couple of the socialists, they're all backstabbers. Oh yeah, definitely. Do you do much shorting or stick mostly to long trades? Okay, so for me to want to short, I typically everything I like to do for swing trades for longs is reversed. So for doing a long trade, I have to see the Bitcoin weekly chart being bullish, MACD, stochastic, RSI all bullish, then the daily chart being all bullish as well with the MACD, stochastic, and RSI again bullish, plus some type of breakout above a resistance level. All of that comes into play. Boom, I'm there, right? Or I'm at least opening up a swing trade that I know will eventually pop because the momentum is shifting up. On the flip side here, for Bitcoin, I typically will only short once the MACD, the RSI, and stochastic all get negative territory for the weekly chart and the daily chart. And then on top of that, I like to see the death cross happening between the 20-week and 50-week moving averages as far as Bitcoin's concerned. So if I go over here very fast and I go back to here, we'll just use the MACD as an example. So I might, let me get rid of this stuff right here. Yeah, I'd only feel comfortable shorting Bitcoin during this time afterwards. So you can imagine between these two lines, right? Now, when is the daily telling us to short? So from here, it was already bearish for a minute, so we have to wait for the next bearish move where everything's bearish. That might be one right there. Let's see. There we go. There we go. There we go. And so for here, you kind of have to look for a breakdown. Is there a breakdown happening right here? Not really. I mean, you can see the kind of a trend line that might have popped up there, but there's no breakdown right here. So you kind of have to cross that out. Was there a breakdown over here? No, we saw that support level, so no breakdown. So you got to cross that out. And then finally, you get that trend line from there to there. You get a breakdown over here. So you see the bearishness, but you can't short until you have that official breakdown. And then you can start saying, okay, well, our next level of support is here, right? And that's where you take a profit. It's just like what I do now, but I would say that, you have to kind of figure out where you are in the market cycle. So this is like, this is when we don't have the MACD. I mean, this is when we don't have the 20-week and 50-week moving averages being bearish along with us. And you see how only one of these worked, but when it did work, it worked out pretty well. There's no breakdown, so you're not even opening these trades. But back up again, weekly chart. This is not a, what is this? It's a daily one. It should be a chart. There you go. But when you add on the death cross here between the 20 and the 50, just so you guys can see the full chart here, right? That's when all of the shorting becomes a lot easier, Again, there was probably some MACD drop-offs right here, right? You could short that as well. But once you have that, that's where the really big moves come in, because that's typically where altcoins are dropping like 50, 60, 70%. So if you have like anything like a 10x leverage or 5x leverage, oh boy, I mean, you're looking really, really, really dandy at that point. But historically, again, death cross, you're pretty good if you short during those times. And if you take a loss, you take a loss, but the profits are really going to outweigh any losses that you take if you just follow those rules. I know people that do that strategy that I just talked about, but they do it with such large amounts of money that they don't really have to do a lot of swing trading and day trading and stuff like that. Bitcoin's still getting pushed back down. We just broke down to what over the last few minutes? The low is $96,111. Probably put the 15-minute chart on there. Yeah, and you can see, look, there's been some climbs as we've been descending. There's been some attempts to buy stuff up, but we just keep on getting dumped on. So this is more of a selling moment where you do see a little bit of panic. Let's see. Air Force, ooh, nice. Let's see. That makes sense. I definitely do more longs than shorts, especially in a bull market, but I have been doing more shorts these last few days. I think it works out. It's just that when you do the shorts, they're typically going to be of a shorter time frame, right? So I'm not going to be holding on to these shorts for like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. No. During this time, I hold these shorts for maybe at max 5-6 days, and more likely than not, I'm really holding for 20 to 40 hours. That's basically it, right? So if you were to go over here and you'd see, okay, right, we're looking for a short-term trade. So the weekly chart doesn't matter. The fact that the weekly chart's still bullish doesn't matter. We're looking at the daily trade and you say, hey, well, the MACD is bearish, the stochastic is bearish, and the RSI is bearish. I may be willing to open up a short trade here. And then what you're normally going to look at is something like a 1-hour chart and a 4-hour chart mix. So you see the 4-hour chart, right? You can see where the change of character kicked in. If I put that right there, there you go. Kicked in right here. We have the MACD showing weakness right there. And you see the breakdown happening at the same time. That's where you would strike. Right here, you may think about it, but we never broke down, right? There was no confirmation of that breakdown, so you wouldn't take it. So it's still more complicated, and it's a little bit more difficult than just following the swing trades when everything is aligned here. But I'd have to say usually you're working out fine. And you can even see the change of character here where it's green, right? MACD turned to red right here. And you could imagine some type of trend line like that. You could have shorted that move right here to the support level if you wanted to, or you could have tried to see and wait for another breakdown. Personally, I don't know if I would have made that trade, but I probably would have made that trade right there. This one's just a little bit too janky. Because if I made this trade right here and I saw it go down, my price target wouldn't have been all the way down here. It would have been something like this, and trying to sell it right there, or right there. Yeah, probably something in there, because what was the daily chart doing at that time? Yeah, the daily chart was still bullish, so sorry, I wouldn't have even taken that trade. All right, so I'm really picky, but the pickiness allows me to be very confident in my trades when I do them, which of course, can be a little bit less stressful. And move that over. There you go. Bitcoin's definitely getting pushed down even more right now. Most long-term traders will tell you they make the majority of their money shorting, not longing. Yeah, I could definitely see that. I think last bull cycle and bear cycle, I made more money longing, but that's because I got very lucky with how much money I put in a Dogecoin, right? But the biggest trade I've ever had was shorting Luna. Was it Luna? That was called back then. Yeah, Luna. Shorting Luna was probably the best trade I ever had, or it was, but I forget if that was the name. But I shorted it from like $104 all the way to 50 cents. Now there was a crisis going on there, but again, that was luck, just like Dogecoin was luck. Buying these things and shorting these things, there's technical reasons to do so, but why do you really buy them? Because you have some faith and you want to see some luck involved there. The market's going to keep going down much longer. Right now, they should continue going down. So the issue right now is that we're dealing with this 20-day moving average, and we're not doing a good job holding it. There we go. Connor stream. I'm good on time for something else. 2 o'clock. Let's see. Yeah, we're good. But yeah, we are looking a little bit more bearish in the short term. We've seen this MACD be bearish for a minute here. That's not really my concern. My concern is what happens if we do break down below this last level of support that we've been building up right here and right here, that 90,900 level. To me, that symbolizes that we have a long way to go after that, which is going to suck. Which is why I told you guys at the beginning of the stream, a lot of my stop losses got hit today because I've been moving them up so much. But overall, I'm not too concerned. I don't think the bull market is over anything. But we may need to consolidate. If we get good news about CPI, we may see a good move here. But again, I'm not so freaked out about this. But again, see, I don't like to say that because I bought months ago, weeks ago, when everything was fine. So all my positions, even if Bitcoin's gone down, even if a meme coin that I have is down 15%, I'm still well over 100% profit on it. So I'm not so concerned, right? So it's a little bit different. And this doesn't need to be here. That doesn't need to be there. Is this the right one? It is the right one. Okay. Here's the 1 hour chart so you can kind of see what's going on. Why does this feel so off? Oh, MA versus SMA. I forgot a new thing. That's what's freaking my brain out. There we go. But I mean, Bitcoin's still getting hit right now, guys. Oh, it's down a little bit more. You don't know when you should take your profit out of Doge? It's okay to scale out every now and again. I mean, that's what I've been doing, right? If you have a swing trade or a long trade, you can always scale a little bit out of it. My goal personally is I'm not trying to sell my Dogecoin before 80 cents, but it's okay to sell it even right now. I had some Dogecoin that I forgot I had over the last 8 months. I sold that off back when Dogecoin was like 44 cents. Now my long-term Dogecoin, that's fine right now. I'm not selling it, but it's long-term for a reason. If you're looking for some profits, don't be afraid to scale out a little bit. You can always buy back into the market. You can always do some trading and stuff because Bitcoin's coming down even more here. We just broke down below 96,000 bucks. We're tipping right now. This is all because of the volatility around the 20-day moving average. But you can see right here, I mean, the market just coming down. There we go. We're going to give Loki his last treat very fast. And there he goes. All right, let's back over here very fast. There we are. Lunacy? Yeah, it was a crazy time. My long-term trades I hold for even years, sometimes but I rarely hold a short more than 24 hours. Yeah, that's the way I think about it. That's the way I think about it right now. And man, I mean, we're getting punished right now, guys. 95,000. People need Christmas present money and booze money for New Year's. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. We just hit 95,000. You guys know I've been talking to you guys about scaling out, moving up stop losses and stuff. So when these type of moments happen, I'm like, hopefully you guys listen listen to me. If not, that's okay. But there's 95,000 bucks. Loki over here is all excited. He's like, ooh, cheap Bitcoin. I switched to 3x Bear ETFs today in chips in the Mag 7. Ah, nice. Yeah, the world's going through some shit right now, as it always has, but I think we'll get through it. Jeez. Here's the second chart. We're just getting offloaded here. Look at that. Trying. There's a wall there. And we already broke down below 95,000. Wow. We're getting slammed, guys. Again, we're going to have volatility for the next couple of days, but we are seeing some people get spooked. Resistance level? Resistance is the $104,000 level. We've been talking about that for a very long time, though. Anybody remember when we first started talking about the $104,000 resistance? It was months ago. But that was our major resistance level. After that, went up to 109. The one below us is 90,900. But the 104,000 was a much more strong resistance than the 90,900. The 90,900 was actually something I just found more recently, and I started talking about it once we started breaking up post-Trump election boom. You know, we're back down to 94,000 all of a sudden. Jesus. I guess I gotta make this into a 94 now. There we go. But this is why I pay for premium on Black Friday specials, so I can do this stuff with you. Let me see. I don't think they have the Black Friday sale anymore. Nope. It's back to being $600 a year. Oh, man. That's okay. If you guys got it, you guys got it. I was seeing Bitcoin pop back up a little bit here. That's nice to see. Intel going to be below 20 again? You know, I don't know how I feel about Intel, man. Like, I know they have a lot of parts that are in parts of computers, right? But I just don't know. I was thinking of buying into Spirit. That's what I was thinking of. Spirit Airlines. Because they're in bankruptcy mode. They do have a good service. I mean, I know they probably need to raise their prices or something. But as somebody who has ridden on Spirit Airlines before, in their version of first class, which is only 4 seats, I found it to be a very pleasant experience from beginning to end. I had no problems whatsoever. They didn't say, oh, your bag is too big, your bag is too small. I got the big seat up front, so basically it came with a priority check-in boarding, which I don't need because I got the TSA pre-check and the clear. But unlimited alcohol, just like anything else, and it's just cheaper. And I think I like it better when it comes to, especially going to Vegas. I think for longer flights, I'd probably still stick with Alaska or Delta. But for those shorter flights, like to Vegas or California or Idaho, wherever you guys go, Utah, man, I was pleasantly surprised. It's because I've flown on discount ones way back in the day, like Spirit. I remember when I was younger in college, I flew on Frontier. Oh God, Frontier was so bad, so bad, so bad, so bad. But Intel, yeah, I don't know, man. Their management just seems horrible. I will give you a belly rub or a butt scratch. There you go. Hope we get a V recovery. It might come within days of being a V recovery, but I think we're fine here. Weeks has such a weird advertisement thing. It keeps on saying Bitcoin reaches a new high, and it says like 96,000. Like, that is not the new high for Bitcoin. Just made a 115% profit from my overall Blowfriend account in 10 minutes. There you go, Ethereum is trash. That's the way to go. Probably shorting Ethereum, no less. People taking profit at 100K? Yeah. I mean, again, the 100K wasn't even my resistance level. 104,000 was my resistance level because that's what the Fibonacci's were telling us. Again, we've been talking about this for a while here. Look, see that blue line right there? Mwah. I mean, we've been talking about that for way too long. The new one that we found a few days ago, like right over here, was the 90,900 level. But basically, the level we've been focused on as a channel, I should say, was 104,000. And we smacked it, and then we got it smacked back. I guess that's probably a nice way to say it. But yeah, I think right now, dollar cost averaging is still what I'm gonna do, and I still feel comfortable doing that over a lot of other stuff. A lot of you guys were asking me last week about should I open up a long, should I do a swing trade, I'm like, that daily MACD is not where I want it to be. It allows me to set my hands a little bit, but when I make money, I can make good money out of it. There we go. Sorry. My nose is a little bit stuffy today. Oh, I was outside, probably got some allergies. Buy the dips? I mean, I already bought the dip, so I don't need to buy more dips. I got limit orders and everything all set up. I was shorting XRP hard. That coin was way too overpriced. Oh, yeah. I get what you're saying there. Yeah, I was definitely there. Bouncing off the VWAP. And we're bouncing off a bunch of stuff right now. A bunch of stuff. $94,000. We're bouncing off of a 20-day moving average right now. We're going through it. We're going through it, guys. We're definitely going through it right now. Let's see if I can put this up here. There we go. But we are trying to make a move back up, right? After that violent move right there, you can see almost of a V. But that's, that's on a second chart. If you go over to a 15-minute chart, it still looks like that. Just like over here. But the stock market just closed, right? Typically, when we see these volatile moments in the market, let me go over here to a 4-hour chart for you. You can see how ugly all of that looks. We're normally going with the market sessions. 2-minute chart. The volatility usually happens during New York time, and afterwards it usually calms down. You saw a little bit right there between New York and Tokyo, right? But most of the time afterwards, we're okay. We're chill. Or no, it may just be we might just have to wait for the London time around 12 a.m. Because I'm looking at the last few days because I've been busy the last few days. I didn't even get a chance to stream on Friday like I wanted to. Not crazy over here. As far as it goes. New York. Yeah, London seemed to be the chill time. When we go from London to New York or New York to Tokyo, that seems to be one of the most volatile times. So Europe is not really that involved with cryptocurrency at this point in time, you could say. But I mean, take a peek at this. 5-minute chart here. That was definitely one big push. Hopefully, whoever tried to do a short right there is going to get squeezed out. What am I drinking out of a plastic cup? Oh, water. All my water cups are basically in my dishwashers at the house. I got 2 dishwashers and they're both freaking full. And so what I do is when I need water and I need to drink a lot of it, I get myself a little Tupperware and I just suck it right there. Mostly because it's very easy for me to put tons of ice in there. I love to have ice water. I don't know why, but yeah. If I get tea, I usually have this mug over here for tea, but I felt like it was more of a water day. What happened? My SEI now break even, Michael? Is the bull cycle over? No, it's not over, but what do you call basically there's a few things of news hitting right now and there's a lot of profit taking. Loki, you gotta stop. Loki thinks there's like 5 or 6 treats up here, but there's no more treats from because he already had some today. But I think Bitcoin is getting rattled based off of some of the news we got today. So there's a few news stories out there. It's right in front of here. First one is Nvidia shares fall after China opens investigation over possible violation of anti-monopoly law. That was the first thing right there. Another thing was we do I still have it over here? Comcast shares tumble. Oh, interesting. AI video generation tool. Shit, this is gonna be cool. I might be paying $200 a month for OpenAI pretty soon just to have fun with it. The Saud dynasty in Assyria going down. On top of that, we have Israel invading Syria at the same time. There's a bunch of shit going on over there. But Fed, on my calendar. There you go. There's a few rumors going around that we may pause rate cuts, and I think that's probably the biggest driver of why Bitcoin's coming down. We hit a major technical resistance level. Bitcoin was already going to see some profit taking along that route, right? So Wednesday, we also have the CPI data. And then coming up next week, we have 18th, yeah. Next Wednesday, we have the FOMC interest rate decision, right? Which is most likely going to be a 25 basis point cut, which is fine for Bitcoin. However, after that, if he speaks more hawkishly, we may see him be thinking about no more rate cuts for a minute, pausing rate cuts, which in my opinion would be a disaster, and it would kind of show that like shit, maybe Trump should get the senators involved, like the far left ones like Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, along with the Republicans, and they should oust him for somebody that wants to lower rates, because I think all they need is 60 votes to fire Fed chair. Let's see. PBS says no, but I just want to see what the rule is. Let's see. It doesn't say anything about it. He might be able to just fire him. I thought he had to go through the Senate or something to do so. Can Trump fire the Fed chair? They're removable by the president for cause, such as inefficiency, neglect of office, and malfeasance. Okay. Let's see. So, yeah, he can. So, yeah, Trump can fire him for whatever reason, looks like. That might be what he has to do. But so far, guys, Bitcoin is, again, still trying to bounce off of the 20-day moving average here. We've been here before. We managed to bounce back up. Maybe we'll have some more luck here. But if you guys are looking for a reason to buy Bitcoin, buy assets, like I said before, once we see the daily MACD, this daily stochastic and RSI all bullish, plus the weekly one all bullish again, I'll be very happy to go buy in with all of you guys. But right now, I'm just scaling in, dollar cost averaging, and again, some of my stop losses are getting hit, but that's because I want to lock in some profits. So that's basically the gist of what's going on right now. Let's see. Come on, Bitcoin goes down 5%. Everyone is screaming. We had somebody 20% drops, and we just was just par for the course. You've been through it, man. What do you call? Yeah, I mean, I think the issue is right now, there's just a bunch of people who FOMO'd in, and then when you FOMO in, you typically will see the largest losses before you see those gains, if that makes sense, right? So imagine, remember we were dollar cost averaging all through this, but more importantly, we started to buy when the MACD turned bullish back over here. So even over there, you had a few weeks to buy up a lot of different altcoins, right? And so whatever altcoin you bought, for the most part, it's been freaking going insane. And you started to scale out here like I did, or up here like I did, or even over here, the choppiness. We were scaling out, and we put our stop losses on in case something crashed on them, but we're fine, right? But if you bought up here, all of a sudden, maybe your altcoins are negative. Maybe all of a sudden your Bitcoin position is negative. And that's much more dramatic, and that's much more scary for a new investor, right? Especially the new investors that come along to Bitcoin, to altcoins, when the market's at all-time highs, right? I talk to my friends in the cigar lounge and stuff like that, and I'm always saying, guys, I know you guys want to buy Bitcoin and stuff like that. You can toss a little bit of money there now, but just toss a little bit of money, kind of learn the basics of the cycle. Then the next time the Bitcoin market crashes and burns, FTX style stuff, Celsius stuff, everybody's freaking out. Dollar cost average into that, and that's the way you want to get into Bitcoin, because then you just wait, right? And you get oh yeah, this money's flowing in. You can keep on dollar cost averaging, for a long time afterwards. Like when Bitcoin went to 25,000, we started dollar cost averaging. 20,000 bought more, $15,000 bought more. But even when it went back up to 20,000, 30,000, you could still be buying there, right? Buying more and more and more. It's just a long dollar cost averaging strategy. And then of course, eventually it'll have that big pop. They're all stuck on the hill now. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the way it is. That's right. 515 Bitcoin Cash was fun for a minute. It just depends on what you buy, guys. It just depends on what you buy. We've been talking about dollar cost averaging for such a long time. New people that come in, that's the way we're going to make money off of this stuff. When we have a good swing trade, I'll let you guys know. But typically, I have to wait for all these signals to pop off, and if they don't, I'm meh. And then, of course, there's day trading, but that just requires the daily chart and the 4-hour chart, not so much of the weekly chart and stuff like that. But okay, everybody, I'm gonna hop off online right now. I'm gonna hop offline right now. I need to take a look out to use the bathroom here, and then I'm also gonna be going live again. And this is like the first of many new days where I'll be doing 2 streams a day. I'm gonna try to wake up early and do a stream around like 5 o'clock, not 5 o'clock, like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and I'll see how that goes. Maybe 10 o'clock. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. If you guys are looking to watch a new video, I'm still practicing this stuff, so if you guys can watch it and give the video a like, there is on my channel, I can find it, a new video posted about the market crash today and some of the news coming out this week. So if you guys want to listen to that, please do.